Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be discussing Quebec's Bill 21. So this is a bill that prohibits state employees such as prosecutors, police officers, and teachers from wearing religious symbols including head and face coverings when carrying out their civic duties. It is said the new law is superficially supported by four principles: the religious neutrality of the state, the separation of religion in the state, the equality for all citizens, and the freedom of conscience and religion. Bill 21 invoked a notwithstanding clause, shielding it from the Charter challenges on religious and freedom grounds for 5 years. Using course material, I will be arguing that Quebec's Bill 21 is unconstitutional. I will be discussing three main factors that support my claim that the bill is unconstitutional. These include circumstances that harm immigrant and racialized communities, disproportionately affect women and their rights to wear scarves, hats, and turbans, and interfere with freedom of expression. These three prominent factors are interconnected into our three overarching themes of the course. I will first discuss Section 1 on national minorities and group rights and how it can be related to Bill 21. In the February 9th lecture on national minorities in context, we discussed three broad categories of minority rights and national mechanisms of protection, which are the protection of physical existence, ensuring equality and non-discrimination, and ensuring effective participation. These protections are negotiated between minorities in the states, hence it is unwise to simply use the greatest force to achieve desired ends, like Quebec is doing in this case. There are policies and protocols put in place like the Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms and the CHRA, and the objectives of these two bodies are to protect our rights, and that includes freedom of expression and freedom of religion, which Bill 21 infringes on. As stated in Will Kamulika's article Universal Minority Rights, he discusses how contemporary Western society has placed greater emphasis on adapting rights for minorities, whereas in the past they attempted to suppress the distinct identities and institution of national minorities and Indigenous people, which can be seen in the construction and implementation of Bill 21 in Quebec, a province known for their cultural identity and ideals, which they distinct from traditional national values of multiculturalism. Western society has abandoned these exclusionary policies and become more widely accepting of differing religious beliefs and customs. A quote from this article states that the shift in Western attitudes towards minority rights is arguably tied up with the de-securitization of ethnic relations. In the past, issues regarding minorities were often seen as issues of national security. Minorities that did not share the dominant national identity were seen as disloyal, and the fundamental question was how to secure the state from those threats. Today, issues of ethnicity in the West have gradually moved out of the security loyalty framework into the framework of normal polities. Interesting claims related to ethno-cultural diversity are no longer seen as existential threats to the state, but this is not the case in Quebec, where they state that they are banning these religious symbols in an act to foster adherence to state religious neutrality. Next, I will be discussing Bill 21's impact on women. One of the religious symbols that were banned for state employees to wear is the hijab, which is Islamic headscarf worn by women. There has been an outpour of claims of violations because this bill makes women choose between their faith and their careers. These women that are affected by this bill may fit into different categories of group rights, including women and minority groups. As mentioned in the Gender and Law lecture, different groups have historically different traumas and require different accommodations. These women impacted by this bill require different accommodations because of their distinct group based on gender, religion, and race. This is a difficult challenge to overcome, but it must be done to ensure individual rights are not being infringed upon due to religious discrimination at the hand of Quebec's government. Koukafis talks about working out intersectionality in the role of the state and says that states' multiculturalism and feminism are in conflict, and it is naive to think that the state can change the family structure, culture, and power relationships through the exercise of central power, which itself may be problematic, but Quebec is attempting to do so by implementing Bill 21 through a notwithstanding clause because they know it will be challenged on the grounds of religion and freedoms. Finally, I will discuss how Bill 21 interferes with the freedom of expression. In our first lecture on the freedom of expression, it talks about the Charter. Section 2 of the Charter states everyone has the following fundamental freedoms: freedom of conscience and religion, freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, including freedom of the press and other media communication, freedom of peaceful assembly, and freedom of association. Bill 21 can be said to impose on the freedom of conscience and religion, as well as the freedom of belief and expression. Using the three-part test to analyze if Bill 21 protects or infringes upon freedom of expression in Canada, we will ask these three questions. Does the activity in question have expressive content, thereby bringing it within Section 2B protection? The answer is yes. Does the method or location of the expression remove that protection? Yes, Quebec removes that protection. If the expression is protected by Section 2B, does the government action in question infringe that protection, either on purpose or effect? Yes, Quebec is infringing on the protection implemented in a way that shields it from the Charter challenges on religious and freedom grounds for 5 years. Wearing religious symbols does not impact an individual's ability to provide an impartial and effective public service, and if an individual chooses to wear a religious symbol, it is within their right to do so, even if they are a public servant. Overall, using course material, I can conclude Bill 21 is unconstitutional and infringes on freedoms of religion and expression that are protected under the Charter. This is an issue that needs to be addressed to protect individual and group rights that are currently being violated in Quebec. Canada is known for its laws and policies that protect its multicultural democracy. However, Quebec is not abiding by these beliefs and needs to be held accountable for their blatant disregard and removal of the discriminatory bill. And that's all. Thank you for watching.